Hey guys, this is Neil with Catalyst Machine Works, and man, I'm excited. I always get excited about new stuff, but I'm really excited about this. Okay. This is the Money Shot Mini. All right. This is a brand new offering from us. We have been developing this thing for a number of months. We're finally in the home stretch, and we decided to go ahead and open up pre-order for the Money Shot Mini. You can go to moneyshotcinema.com and put in your pre-order. We're looking at about 5 to 6 weeks from this point to start shipping. If you have any questions, usually that can be answered by just going to the website there and looking at the product page and all the specs and what have you. But if you need to reach out to me, you can email me at info@catalystmachineworks.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you've got. Okay, so quickly, for you guys who have no idea who the hell I am, what is Catalyst Machine Works, what is this weird looking thing? Okay, we have been developing FPV racing craft and freestyle machines for the hobby industry for a number of years. I think it's been about 6 or 7 years now. And recently, about a year and a half ago, we decided to jump into the commercial world, and in particular the film industry. Okay, so we've taken what we've learned and all of our expertise with designing FPV craft for the hobby world, and we are now applying it to the cinema industry. And so we've developed machines that can carry cinema cameras in the exact same way that an FPV machine would carry a GoPro, for instance. And with these machines, you're able to achieve shots and footage that is literally impossible with a standard gimbaled heavy lift cinema craft. Okay, it's a different style of shot, it's a different look. It is very, very cool. Okay, now we have been having some really good success with our first offering. It's a giant X8, just like this, the original Money Shot X8, but it's designed for carrying heavy cinema cameras. That machine has been sold to some pretty big names in the industry. Beverly Hills Aerial, Aether Filmworks. We are also working with Peacemaker Filmworks very soon here, and a few more. Okay, Skysight RC has received some of our products, and they are all extremely thrilled and are producing some amazing footage with these machines. So this offering, we're super excited to get this out there and get it to a broader set of people because it is so inexpensive and so easy to attain. Let's go ahead and get started, talk about this machine in detail. The first thing I'm going to mention here is probably one of the most important aspects, and that is the camera. What type of camera can you fit on here? Okay, so the max payload for this guy is 5 pounds. That's our suggested max payload. So a combination of your lens and your body shouldn't go over 5 pounds. This is a Red Komodo and a Rokinon 10mm cinema lens. And this is about 3.4 pounds for the two. The machine has an absolute ton of power, so you can fly 5 pounds with no problems. But I'd try and stay right below that if you can. Okay, so now you are able to fit not only this red camera, but basically anything that you want, as long as it doesn't go over 5 pounds. On the production model, there's going to be ability to put not only 1/4-20 screws to hold your camera to the mount, but also you can run 3/8-16 on the same mount. Okay, there's a little piece in there that makes that possible. Okay, now you can run, let's list off some of the cameras that you can put on this thing. Okay, so the red camera like this, box style camera, you can also put a Z-Cam box style camera on here. You can run a Panasonic GH5. You could do a Blackmagic Cinema Pocket 6K. Well, anything really you can put on here. That pretty much sums that up. Now, the camera mount, let's see if I can get this in view here. The camera mount has the ability to change angle, okay? And so you can see that there are little tiny delineations here, little markings on this sweep that show your angle, okay? So you know what angle you are setting by looking at this. Now keep in mind, this is the prototype version. but the production version of this will be able to change the angle anywhere from 0 to 30 degrees. Okay, and then there's an optional accessory that you can buy if you need to go from 30 to 45. Now, with that said, in our testing, we have never needed to go over 30 degrees. Okay, I think it's very rare that you're going to need to fly at a higher inclination than 30 degrees, but if you need to, it's there for you, and it's very quick to change out the plates that you need to get that additional angle. But for most people, most shoots, 0 to 30 is where it's at. Now, an additional thing that I want to point out with this system, let's do this here. Let's take this off. Okay, that's the quick release tray. We'll talk about that later. I took that off so I can get a better view on this little dude right here. Okay, this is an external power system for the camera. All right, so you can see I've got this plugged in here into the red. This is providing power through this XT60, so you can unplug it here. Just like this, it's very tight. Get that out. There we go. So that's what that looks like there. Now, that is being powered from a step down on the bottom of the machine. Okay, you can see it right here. Here's the step down. Okay, it's got a push button so you can turn it on and off. And you also use this same push button to select the voltages. Okay, so you can do 12 volt, you can do 8 volt, 6 volt, and 5 volt with the same step down. This is a very high powered unit. This will do up to 120 watts of clean power. All right, so this will power just about any camera out there. And what's nice about it is this step down is not from the hobby world. This step down is designed specifically for this application, specifically for cinema cameras and powering those. So I'm going to get into another aspect of the camera mount. This part is really important. I've zoomed into these little green things. Okay, these are the dampers for the anti-vibration system. And so what this is doing is basically decoupling. You can see I'm moving it here. So this is decoupling the camera from the fuselage. So you've got high frequency vibrations that come in from the props, make their way into the fuselage, and if this is just a hard mount, it's obviously going to get into the sensor and you're going to get jello and all kinds of nastiness. You can't have that, okay? So this is a very effective system for removing those high frequency vibrations. This thing produces absolutely butter smooth footage. This is the same design actually that we use with the larger brother, the original Money Shot X8. It works fabulous there, and so we just adapted it for this smaller machine. All right, I'm going to talk about the battery system on the Money Shot Mini. It works very similar to the design that we have on the bigger brother, the original Money Shot X8. And this machine is running on 8S power. The way that we achieve that is two 4S batteries wired in series. Okay, so I give you 8S power. These batteries are 4S, so they're very easy to get a hold of. They're quite inexpensive compared to some 6S alternatives. And yeah, you can just find them at a lot of different vendors and manufacturers throughout the world, so no problem there. Now, the way that the system works is that you've got a battery on the top and the bottom, okay? And they are mounted to the frame by way of these quick release plates. Now, the reason that we have quick release plates is in the film industry, it's about doing the job efficiently, quickly, and looking like a professional, okay? If you're familiar with FPV craft, fumbling with straps and Velcro straps is a nightmare, okay? It just looks ridiculous when you're fumbling with the straps, you're trying to get the battery on, it's falling off, all that jazz. So the quick release allows you to basically set the system up such that you purchase your batteries joined to these quick release plates in sets, okay? You never take your battery off the plate, and you charge up all the sets, they're ready to go. When one of them, or both of them rather, are exhausted, you simply use the toolless quick release here to release the plate, okay? And then that's all. Same thing on the bottom of the craft. I'm gonna fit my head under here and release the one on the bottom. pull him off. There we go. And that's removed. You see, I did that without even turning the thing over. I was able to feel under here and do it blind. Point being that this is a very efficient way to get these batteries on and off the craft. Okay, now you don't have to do this if you don't want, all right? If you're freaking out right now going, oh my God, I don't want to buy extra battery trays, that's ridiculous. You can take and just put a new battery on here, on the set that comes with the machine using the Velcro straps, and everything will be fine. Okay, so that's how the battery system works on the Money Shot Mini. Another aspect of this design that is something you're gonna wanna hear, and that has to do with reliability. Okay, this machine, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, comes from years of experience in the world of X-Class racing. These are giant drones that move a lot of power. These are 50-volt machines that can go over 100 miles an hour. They're very dangerous, and you're racing with them. So you have to have components that you can trust, okay? Now, through those experiences, we have determined that there is one company out there, there's one company, at least right now, that we trust for the power system on these cinema rigs, okay? And that's Advanced Power Drives, right? I'm not trying to get into like this is a commercial for them or anything, but it really is true. Their forte is actually not the hobby industry. They started out in the commercial world. They've been into that for a while, and then they stepped into the hobby world later on. So the stuff that they make is as good as it gets. It's as reliable as you can find. They're really the only offering that are going to be able to do what we need them to do. Okay, so what we've got on the system, as I mentioned, it's 8S. Okay, so we've got ESCs. These are APD 8S ESCs. These things will do like 80 amps continuous, and I think it's over 100 amps burst. They are healthy. You are not going to have a failure with these ESCs. Each motor has its own dedicated APD ESC. We're not using 4-in-1s in here. We're not using hobby grade electronics for the power system. This is commercial quality stuff here. And you're gonna want that if you're gonna be flying around a $7,000 red Komodo. All right, now that's the power system. And of course, I want to mention that there are also power distribution boards in here, right? So you've got your power running in, you've got positive here, and then on the bottom of the machine, you've got your negative here. They are running into power distribution, okay? There's not one, but there's 2 power distribution boards, okay? And the reason for that is we want to have redundancy. We want to make sure that the amount of amperage that we're going to be flowing through this system is going to be, that the components can take it, all right? So each set of motors, so we got 4 motors here on the top, that has its own PDB, and the bottom set of motors has its own PDB. Of course, it's advanced power drives for those as well. Now let's get into the interior. I'm going to take this top plate off. That probably did sound like an APD commercial. Maybe they'll hire me to do their marketing. Maybe not. I don't know. I thought it sounded pretty good. Okay, so there's the interior here with the access plate removed. Okay, so I've got the top plate off to reveal the innards here. The reason I did that is I want to talk about the flight controller. You can see it sitting on top of the top PDB. The other PDB is down below. You can't see it. Okay, the flight controller, how important, I mean, this is the brain of the thing. If this thing fails, you're screwed, all right? That thing fails, you just smash $7,000 Komodo cameras. You don't want that to happen. So you want the most reliable flight controller you can get. We have been using this one in our X-Class racing machines now for years. This is the Brain FPV Radix. Brain FPV is a US-based company. They are based out of Oregon, if I'm not mistaken. It's a husband and wife team. When they have these things manufactured, they bring them into their warehouse and they QC every single one before it goes out the door. It's not like a Chinese company where they're coming directly from China, and that factory is maybe gonna they'll test maybe every 1,000 or every 100 if you're lucky All right, so it's a sampling-based QC procedures a lot of these Chinese factories use, not at Brain FPV. That's why we use the Radix, okay? That, and it has some other functionality and whiz-bangs that we like, including a Boss gyro that's super importante. All right, so we like the gyro on this. But yeah, so that's why we use this flight controller. I would not trust just anything, especially with a system like that. So that's why I decided that I would point it out. All right, while I'm on the subject of the electronics in this system, let's talk about the motors, okay? On this guy, we are using 3115 640 kV motors. These are a big stator for this prop, okay? So this is a 9-inch prop, but yet we've got it matched to a big stator. The reason that we do that is the system is extremely efficient, all right? So with this that you've got here before you, this is 8000 mAh 8S, and if you're running your red Komodo, which we'll say it's 3.5 pounds, we are getting about 7 minutes of solid flight out of this system at cruising speeds. And cruising speeds is anywhere from 50 to 60 miles an hour. So typical filming kind of scenario, and a solid 7 minutes, okay? Not only that, but using a 9-inch prop and big stator motors, we are able to produce a, pardon my French, shit ton of thrust, all right? Yes, I said shit because it is warranted, because it's that much thrust. After the efficiency loss of the bottom set of motors, which is about 30%, 25 to 30%, we are producing 62 pounds of thrust on this thing at full bore. Okay, that is an astounding amount of thrust. So with this setup with the Komodo, you're gonna get a power to weight ratio of about 5 to 1. You can hit speeds upwards of 100 miles an hour in this thing, okay, and you can cruise at 70 or 80 miles an hour all day long, and you can do it for a long time. Very efficient system. The motors are not overworked. All right, so another bit that is really important with regards to reliability has to do with the FPV system. This particular FPV system is the DJI HD FPV. Very popular, super reliable system. However, you have got to have a dedicated power source for this system. That is the reliable way to power it, and that is the way that we have done it. So this FPV system does not run off of a step down or something like that. It has a dedicated battery just for the vision system. It's located here underneath this strap on top of this plate. Now I have to apologize, this is a 3D printed plate right here, but this is the prototype, okay? For the production, obviously we're gonna have a carbon fiber plate here. But the 4-cell dedicated battery for the FPV system goes here. You plug it in right here, and it powers this air unit. It's got its own power system. Really important. Also, we include GPS with the Money Shot Mini. You can see the little antenna here. All right, so the reason that we have that is you've got an OSD. That means on-screen display in your goggles, okay? This GPS allows you to get some additional information into the OSD, such as total number of GPS satellites found. You've got GPS coordinates. It'll give you craft speed, craft distance from home, and all that made possible by this little GPS module. That's really super important. Another thing that's nice is if, let's say you made a mistake, you know, are getting a little bit too crazy and you hit a tree a half a mile away from you and you crashed, and now your craft is sitting somewhere in the grass and you have no idea where it is. You can use this GPS module to track it down by its longitude and latitude and figure out where it's located. So that's a very nice feature. All right guys, I've got the two side by side. On the right is the Money Shot X8, the original bad boy right here. Carry up to 10 pounds of cinema camera. And then the new Money Shot Mini. Just doing this so you can see the difference here and get some sense of the size of the new Money Shot Mini. All right guys, that brings a close to our video. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to my rambling. Before I let you go, I want to mention that we are here to support our customers, right? Every single person that receives a Money Shot, we are going to follow that up with the most amazing customer support you have ever experienced in your life. I'm not joking, all right? You talk to any of the customers who have purchased this thing from us, they're gonna tell you the same thing. We don't just leave you hanging, okay? We are at the ready for any questions that you might have. Let's say on down the road that you crash this thing, right? God forbid. We're gonna help you, right? We're gonna get it fixed for you. It's not like a Chinese company where if you crash it, you're screwed, right? We are here for you. We're gonna work with you, get you back in the air, and get everything going again. So that pretty much sums up the video. Thanks again. If you have any questions, email me at info@catalystmachineworks.com, or you can email us at support@catalystmachineworks.com. Thank you so much. I'm gonna quick disconnect this and put it back. Listen to this. This is so satisfying. You ready? Oh my God. If that doesn't make you want to buy this thing, what will, right? Did you hear that? My God, I don't know why that gets me so excited.